What's up, peeps? Welcome to the Up and After podcast. Grab a mug. Let's have a talk.
What do you want? It's too early for visitors.
I then awake as refreshed and recharged as a newborn child, ready to take on the day's challenges.
Welcome to the Up and After podcast for the month of August 2026, where today we are back to try and get this show on the rails. We need to do these more often, as I say. This is going to start out as a hit piece. And in order to do these more often, we're going to need drive, ambition, and passion. And those are very good because those are the themes of the movie we're going to be talking about today. Was that good?
It was okay. It was serviceable.
We're going to talk about the 2014 film Whiplash, which is a movie that came out in the year 2014. And I remember seeing it back when it came out. Let's actually, before we get into the movie, Chris, how you doing today? You're my co-host. I forgot we should probably introduce you and myself.
Hi, I'm Chris. This is my co-host who just did the intro. His name is Riley.
Yeah, I'm
doing good, man.
I'm really sick right now, so we're gonna do our best, and it might be affecting my ability to craft a sufficient intro, but I think it went really well. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it was serviceable. Like I said, it was nice.
All right. So yeah, Whiplash. How are you feeling? So I'm pretty. You were familiar with this before we actually watched it.
Oh yes, very familiar.
Yeah, but you hadn't
like
seen the whole thing, but I'm sure you've seen
gamified
feeds. Yeah, you've seen memes.
Yeah, no, I've never seen any part of it really. I mean, I've seen clips, but even that was like, I don't know, like 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Nothing that I'm like, oh, like I gotta go see that movie. It was just something that, like, has always been in the background of my mind of like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. Right. So when you like finally cut it on, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm here. Like I'm ready to watch it. So
yeah. I remember
very different movie, like in my head. Like,
right.
I thought it was going to be something totally different. And by the end of this, I was like, oh, okay, they did a lot, a different route that I wasn't expecting, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
But yeah, sorry.
It was about a week, maybe over a week back, when I had gotten off of a long day of work, and I decided I wanted to watch a movie, and so I just opened up a random site and went to a movie. I'm like, oh, Whiplash, I haven't seen that in a few years. And I don't know why I did that, because, I mean, anyone who's seen the movie knows that it's a pretty stressful watch. I think especially so if you haven't seen it and you don't know where it's going. But all in all, it's very tense. It's very much like Uncut Gems in that regard. I think Uncut Gems is a bit more intense in terms of how much tension is laid onto the viewer. But yeah, it's I had to break it up into 3 sittings, not deliberately, but I did jump into a chat with some other people and then come back to it, and that happened twice. But no, I really love the movie. I love the performances, and I think the editing especially is really good.
Yeah, and I think on paper it's a very simple movie, but and I feel like it has to be kind of carried by like the performances, and I really do think the actors like really knocked it out the park on all fronts. So
it's really tight. I love movies that don't feel too long and they feel like every scene matters and you're not being led along and it doesn't feel like it's dragging anywhere. I really appreciate movies like that, as I'm sure I've mentioned before.
Yeah, especially in this day and age where we get kind of like very long movies, and not saying those long movies aren't concise or they don't get their points across or whatever. Because I think the Odyssey does that pretty well, and that's a pretty long movie. But yeah, I think also it's kind of refreshing to get back to see something that's like, oh no, this is like a pretty simple story. It's concise. It's good on all fronts. Like we tell our story we need to tell, and we'll move on. I'm not expecting like a Whiplash 2.
Well, I think it makes sense because this was originally a short film that they made for Sundance, and I'm pretty sure I went and watched it, and I'm pretty sure it is just the first scene where he practices with the studio band. So like him practicing, then getting absolutely berated by J.K. Simmons, who is in the short film. But I think the other actor is different, but J.K. Simmons is still playing the role.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so it's a pretty neat watch. You can get kind of it's like really similar, but there's a couple little differences in the dialogue here and there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was based off of like a short story, like a book.
Yeah, no, it's a short film. Yeah, it's very, very neat. There's also not too many characters. It's just really simple. I want to see what the budget was. Budget was $3.3 million, which is dirt cheap for a movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it's really
I
great.
low-key would have thought it was like maybe $1 million, honestly. But 3.3, it's still pretty small in the grand scheme of movies. Yeah.
Yep.
Is this the first thing you've seen Miles Teller in? Because you said you watched it when it came out, right?
Yeah, it probably would be. And I the only other thing I know him from is Fantastic, obviously.
Yeah.
What he was in? I didn't see the new Top Gun movie.
I didn't see that movie. He's in that one. Is it a Scorsese biopic or maybe the Coppolas? He's in some biopic where I think he's playing a director. I watched like a little bit. I think that it might be a TV show though. And from the few episodes I watched, he was pretty good in that.
Oh,
but yeah,
he was in the Michael Jackson documentary that came out this year, which I did see.
Oh, Michael? He was in Michael?
Yeah, I try to remember who he played.
Oh wait, you said the
biopic.
The
biopic. The biopic. I should say. He was the attorney in that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was fine.
That's cool.
That movie was,
I haven't seen it, but from what I heard about it, once word was getting out and people were talking about the movie, I was like, oh, I'm less interested in that movie now.
I mean, the problem is that, I mean, I'm not gonna go off on a huge tangent, but I'll just say the problem with that movie is that, excuse me, one is that it plays it too safe. Like, obviously they go into like the abuse stuff that he grew up with, but beyond that, it just doesn't go very much further beyond the surface level with that. And then the other thing is that the movie stops in 1988, which is like, that's kind of, if you're gonna do a Michael Jackson thing, stopping at 1988 is like, we want to be safe. We don't want to go into that stuff, It's like,
and I heard there's a lot of reasons behind why it does that. Like, that movie got like basically like re-edited like within the last like couple months before it came out.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of parties that didn't want them to go further.
Yeah, because and I'm not gonna go a huge tangent about fucking Michael. Oh, and also I haven't seen it, but like also like I heard like the whole like Diana Ross thing, and like that could have been like that was a part that they were gonna lead into with the whole like her preying on Michael type of thing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing that I was like, oh, that would have been really interesting to get into and like really dissect, but they didn't do that. And I'm like, I'm okay. I don't want to see like a re-edition of Michael concerts.
But anyway, Miles Teller was in that. Miles Teller is fantastic in this, and I think it's really it's especially impressive just because of how incredible J.K. Simmons is. Like, obviously, J.K. Simmons is gonna steal the show in this movie, so it's really impressive to me that Miles Teller is able to still be as impressive in playing this character when put up with J.K. Simmons.
Because J.K. Simmons is getting a great, amazing performance, but Miles, like, you're the he's like the audience insert in a way as well. So I feel like when you see his emotions, you're like, I get that. I understand that. Like,
I kind of like how they do, because I think you're supposed to come into this identifying with him as your surrogate into this world, but it becomes super clear because after that first scene where he just berates the shit out of him, and then he's just like, all right, Tanner, you're back on, and you keep practicing, and then they just get back into it. I think it's really interesting because when I watch this, and whenever I watch this, I'm thinking, if I were in his shoes, I would not come back. I would not come back to this place. I would never show my face in this place again. But the fact that he keeps at it is that, oh, okay, this is what this character does have the drive. This isn't just kind of a hobby for him. No one would put up for this. No one would put up with this kind of shit if they didn't legitimately care about, the musicianship of it all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that really helps to flesh out the character, I think.
Mm. Yeah, I think for me it was like, okay, I would try again, right? Because I think also being a kid who was like in sports and stuff like that, like I feel like I've gotten that beratement before, and maybe in a lesser extent.
I don't think I've ever gotten it that bad from it.
Not that bad, but I think there is a level of like, there's been plenty of times where my coach has like pissed me off, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I still do it, like, whatever. Today's just a day, right? Mm-hmm. And you come back to it. I think, though, a little late. I think as it progresses, it's like, oh, okay, now we're at the point where I wouldn't. Like, I'm not that sold to this sport or to this music enough to take this shit, right?
Well, I think that's another reason why it's so effective. It's because I think everyone has that memory of a really tough either teacher or coach or director or whatever who is just so strict and so tough, but those moments where you actually get a bit of praise out of them feel that much more satisfying. And I think one of the questions is that worth it? Is it worth it to go through this level of hell to get to the point where you actually feel like you've succeeded and it feels better because of it?
Yeah.
And on a grander scheme, is it worth getting to that level of proficiency at your craft if it took that much abuse and blood and sweat and tears and what is their relationship at the end? And we'll get into all that later, but I think that's another reason why it's so effective.
Yeah, and I want to because you did say we'll get into it later, but I do think this movie is a toxic relationship movie, but not in yes, it's a toxic relationship on screen clearly, but I think is also like a toxic romantic relationship to me is how I also see it, right? Translating this to a romance, mm-hmm. and having this same abusive kind of relationship with one another.
Right.
That's not really helpful to either party. I just want to preface that into when we finally kind of get into the meat and potatoes of both the characters and their relationship to one another. But yeah, anyway.
I feel that it was really smart of them to make Andrew into kind of a dick. I don't know how audiences or how you in particular feel about the character, but the way I see him, he really is kind of a prick, and it makes me wonder how much of that was there and how much of that is being brought out from Fletcher, his asshole teacher, you know?
Yeah.
Because, we barely get to see any of him. What we see of him before he gets into the studio band, he seems to have a good relationship with his dad. They go to movies together. He has his little crush that he doesn't act on yet. But, as it goes on, it becomes clear, we have the scene with his family dinner where he is kind of being dismissed by them. They have their football stuff that they going on, and they don't really delve too deep. They don't put much interest in his music career. But he does not help things by being just a real prick in that scene. And then obviously he breaks up with his girlfriend, and he seems to get more distant with his family, and it's I think it's daring. It would have been so easy to make him just like this poor victim who's trying his best. But no, he's kind of a prick too, and I like that.
But I think it is what you said before, where I do think Fletcher is bringing a lot of that out of him. I feel like he's this character that like at first is very like, I think it's like two parts are like, I think he's very focused on his craft. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the part that we like kind of like see and sympathize for. And I think it's very hard for him to have these like relationships because he's just like, I'd rather just focus on this. Mm-hmm. And so those parts aren't like, I don't think he's like inherently, I don't even think he's like kind of a prick. Even in the family thing, I was just kind of like, I feel like that's kind of I honestly like clap for him in terms of like standing up for himself, because you have like four people just talking basically around him, but not about him or to him.
Yeah,
Well,
I kind of agree. Yeah, I think I just think he didn't take the high road. He took the low road, is what I would say.
Yeah, and that's fair. I think that's fair to say. I just think that by the time we get to like even like his girlfriend stuff and like the breakup and stuff like that, I was like, oh no, this is like kind of Fletcher's like none of his shit matters except your craft, right? And then he's like, oh yeah, like I gotta focus on my craft because none of that other stuff matters. It won't mean anything.
Well, so it's that
again, that's why I think it's sorry. I'm that's why I think it leads into like the person taking it into like a romance standpoint, taking it to like the person you're with ultimately has such a huge effect on you and so toxic that they're willing to make you like be cut off from the people around you. Like that happens a lot in very toxic romantic relationships, So that's kind of what I see in this movie is or with his character particularly was like, oh yeah, no, Fletcher's literally like, none of those people around you matter. What matters is this crap, you and me. Like,
and even when he's down around, Andrew still feels like he needs to put all his time into practicing for when they are together, and it's never gonna be like he can never put enough time into it, because when he is in practice, on stage, like, no matter how much time he put into it off stage, it's never enough still.
Yeah.
So,
practice does not make perfect.
Yeah. But, it makes me wonder, was that kind of dickishness inside of him and it was brought out, or was it, seated there when it wasn't before? It's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting how at that dinner one of his family members or whatever was like, they're doing like a music competition. Isn't that a subjective thing? And he's just like, no. And it's the idea where I feel like music, even when it's being judged as part of a competition, it still is very subjective. It's not, but in his eyes, there is a level of perfection he can reach. He can get closer and closer to actually being perfect and not just being, really good subjectively to the people who listen to him. But there is an objective perfection that he is trying to reach, and he'll never actually get there because, Fletcher's ideology is you can never say good job to someone because it can never be good enough. Because if you never tell them that they did good enough, they'll keep getting better in his eyes. And that is, and that's the whole thing of the movie is that ideology beneficial in the end? Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, I was talking to my roommate a little bit because my roommate had already seen it, and I was talking about like I was just like, oh, I finally saw Whiplash. He's like, oh, dude, like, what did you think? Whatever. And I was like, maybe not never. That's weird. I'm pretty sure I felt this way before, but I think I'm always in a. I don't know. I think I love this movie more because we have this whole monologue with like the antagonist, if you will, of the movie, and it doesn't like up until that point. We get to the point where they go through like the court things, he get fired or whatever, and we're kind of like, okay, he invites him out to a drink or not. Well, yeah, he invites him to a drink. I mean, Miles kind of shows up, but what's Miles Teller's name? what's the character name?
Well, it's fine. I'll write that down later. Andrew,
yeah. So Andrew fucking shows up to the thing or whatever, and he invites him out. So at this point, you're kind of like, okay, maybe Fletcher has like turned a new leaf, and we've seen like he kind of has this. I don't know if it's a mask. Maybe it's just this thing where he's nice sometimes, right? So you're kind of in this point of like, okay, so this is going to be a moment where he kind of like comes to terms like, hey, I just want to like say I'm sorry about all that, like, blah, 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 blah. But he doesn't. He doubles down on like who he is. And I really love that scene. Like, I was like, oh, this is great. But also, I fucking disagree with this guy. Like, and I think that's okay. I think some people will agree with Fletcher's like ideology, and I think that's okay to a certain extent. But I personally don't, and I think that's also okay. And I really love the movie for doing that.
Yeah, and it ends.
But yeah,
it ends at the concert, and it's they don't spend any time after. They just let the audience come to terms with like what if this is the result of everything he cultivated, is that worth it for either of them? And again, we could probably talk about that a little later before we wrap up.
Yeah.
I find it so funny. So he introduced himself as Andrew. I'm pretty sure he says Andrew Neiman, and then for the rest of the movie, Fletcher will exclusively refer to him as Neiman. Like he says Neiman, and I'm pretty sure he is just deliberately mispronouncing it. Not only does he never call him by his first name, he always calls him by his last name, which he does for like everybody. But I'm pretty sure he's deliberately mispronouncing his name, just as a dick move.
And of course, like Andrew would never correct him because
exactly. And then after he gets fired and from the bit at the jazz club to the end, he actually calls him Andrew after that, which is kind of interesting. It's more of that stuff you can look into. Like, I wonder what he really thinks about him. Especially considering he's still plotting his revenge against him by the end.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I did hear. I watched that's that channel that gets actors in to talk about their roles they did, and I watched the one with J.K. Simmons. He was talking about this movie.
Did I watch the same clip? Holy shit! I just it recently just came across like my Instagram page, and it was just like I'm like, this is so weird that it just came across, and it's just a clip of J.K. Rowling talking about the movie. I wanted
J.K.
to
Rowling
something about to get into. What? I can't see. Oh my god! J.K. Simmons.
Dude, can we imagine J.K. Rowling as Fletcher in this movie? Holy shit! It'd be a lot more turf
screaming
trans.
Trans. My king. Oh yeah. Anyway. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, he was talking about a deleted scene. I don't know if it was I think it was a deleted scene they had of like Fletcher at home, like what his home life is like. It's like he lives alone. He doesn't have a family. He lives alone. He just like eats a TV dinner meal, and he drinks like a thing of scotch or something, and he just listens to jazz in the living room, and that's it. It's that's the life this guy has. Doing.
or Andrew was doing.
It's really interesting. I'm
It's funny. That's
anyway.
also kind of psychopathic, but you know, whatever.
I mean,
Um,
on its own, without context, I don't think there's anything psychopathic about it. But I think, given the context of what we know about him, it's just he's really sad. I think that's what that tells us. And I'm interested in if that's why they didn't leave that in the final movie, because they want it to be more up to the viewer's interpretation of what they think this guy's like. Whereas I think that would be giving too much information as to this is just a very sad man who only finds fulfillment in life in his eyes trying to create the next great talent, when in reality I think he's just getting satisfaction by putting other people down. And I don't even know if that's like the truth of it, or if that's just if he deludes himself into believing that's not the case, or if that's even not the case actually. I don't know, but it's interesting.
yeah, because like the movie doesn't ever tell you if he like really set anyone up for like success. Really, I mean, the one person they do talk about fucking killed himself. So, like, I'm like,
well, he says, I never had my my whatever his name. I don't remember all these jazz names, but he says Charlie Parker, I think it was. He said, I've never had my Charlie Parker. He's never actually managed to make a talent, and you would think that might give him a clue as to maybe your methods aren't the best. But then, we see at the end they have a great little performance. But is that going to be the peak of what Andrew's able to do? Is he there was another thing that the director said, because the director has talked about how some people think it's a happy ending, some people think it's a sad ending, and he likes that people have different views on it. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know if maybe it was him, maybe it was Miles Teller, I don't know. One of them said in their eyes, Andrew is going to be one of those great musicians who dies young. That's kind of the life he's so invested in his own craft that he does not live a happy, fulfilling life, and he is eventually just going to, die young like many great musicians do. Right. And even then, that's up to the audience of saying, is that worth it? All these great, the whole idea of the 27 Club, do we find it worth it that all these people died young, but they died giving us some of the greatest music ever made, and they have legacies that will outlast them, but is that worth it? I like it. It's a really neat theme for the movie.
I agree.
Neat. What do you got? You got anything?
I was gonna talk about his girlfriend. Yeah, because I think that also, I mean, she talks about, or she asks him like, but what about like, basically like, what about everything outside of music? Like, wouldn't that matter to you? And he's basically like, no, like music will all like, it's kind of, or jazz is the only thing that would matter to me, and I would literally not be a good partner to you. And like, I think you could take that as like a dick move. I think it's, especially the way he goes about it. I think
it's very dickish the way he goes about it. I can see what you're saying. You're saying it honestly is probably a good thing that he was doing, like breaking up because he felt like they wouldn't be a good pair. But he did go about it in just one of the most hurtful and dickish ways possible.
Yeah, there was no like actual comfort with it. There was no like second guessing it. It was to the point, it was like literally like, I know what I want, right? But I think the issue here is he also never really gave himself a chance to to really live life outside of jazz, right?
Yeah.
I think that's also like going back to like where we meet this character is just all about jazz. Like he's listening to jazz, he's practicing it, he goes to these, like I think this character's fully enveloped into just this, and so where the issue with his girlfriend comes into play is he never even gives anything else other a chance. And the one time he tries maybe to give it a chance, he doesn't. He still doesn't. He just like, oh, okay, like actually, no. I thought I wanted this, but I really don't. You know?
Yeah.
I just thought that was a very interesting thing to do with him. Especially since he tries to apologize.
I was gonna say,
like,
I find that is one of the most wild scenes where it's clear that he's going to accept Fletcher's offer of coming to play for him. And so he calls her, thinking that it's a good idea to ask her to get back with her, impress her at a jazz show, then take her out to dinner afterwards. Like, dude, you do not have a chance with her. You burned that bridge so thoroughly that there's no way you're going to be able to repair it. You need to find someone else, Andrew. Like, you are so self-deluded. I cannot believe he even tried to do that.
And this dude, okay, I know I keep going about the fucking toxic romances or whatever, but I think it's so clear in this movie to me, right? It just speaks to me because I think this feels also like when people are in toxic relationships and they come out of those toxic relationships and they're trying to like basically get into another like relationship, but they've been so like either hurt or changed or like, you know, like that relationship has changed them so much that it's also really hard to maybe understand other people in a relationship, right? Because now they have to do their own like unlearning and untoxifying or detoxifying themselves from the previous relationship. And that's how I see the phone call to her is like, he's like, oh wait, I'm out of that toxic thing. Even though he's not, he's still tied to it. He's literally going to go perform for it. But he's like, I'm out of that thing. Let me try to like go back to the thing that brought me comfort, the person that like really was there for me. But it's like, that's not how it works. You know, you're still there. You still have so much to unlearn. You know, I don't know, man. It speaks so much to me.
Even then, and you know, it's all that. But in his eyes, the blocking factor is the fact that she's in a relationship with someone else. Like, no, dude, like, that's obviously a non-starter, but that's not even the problem. Like, your life is the problem. Forget the fact that she's with someone else.
Yeah, he doesn't see it that way, man.
It's just this endless construction of self-delusion that he's caked himself in. It's so funny, but also so tragic.
Yeah.
Man. J.K. Simmons is mean in this movie. It's so funny and so scary and so like shocking all at the same time.
Yeah, because like, mind you, this is like, if I was to watch it when this came out, this is post Spider-Man J.K. Simmons, right?
Yeah.
And so he's mean in those movies, but it's like a cheeky, like a boss mean. And you're like, I don't really take him serious. Whatever. It's a comic book movie, right?
Yeah.
This movie is like, who is this guy?
I mean, yeah, like Peter Parker never really took J. Jonah's strictness seriously in the comics either, or in the movies. But yeah, this guy's just like dropping slurs every other sentence. He's just berating people. He's just bringing people to tears, then mocking them for it. Like, oh my god, this is the one guy, like that random stagehand he showed up. He's like, get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you. It's like, what the
fuck demolish you?
I can still see you, mini-me. Like, what the fuck?
While we're watching, I'm like, I've never heard a bunch of adjectives in a sentence before, like I've heard in this movie. He's throwing adjectives, like 4 different adjectives, one after the other. That like they're just a bunch of words. They don't even like make sense together. Like he's gonna say it.
Because it's not about.
You heard all the words in the dictionary. You didn't until fucking Fletcher.
It's not about the syntax of the sentence. It's just about the tone and how many punchy words he can put in a row to just drive a stake into your heart.
It's
It's
like,
so...
dude, what the fuck?
It's like one of the craziest ones is when he comes in and lies to them all about the student's death. He's like, oh, he got into a car crash, and he's trying to like give them inspiration by playing his music, and he's like on the verge of tears, and he turns it off like, all right, let's get started. And then he just immediately starts going off on them for being out of tempo, and he makes them compete on the drums for like 5 hours until he gets Andrew to the tempo he wants, and then he's like, all right, let's get started. It's like, you have to play now. It's crazy, man. It's it's so insane. I love it. He's great.
Fuck that guy, dude.
He's
Fuck
such a dick.
Dude,
It's such a great balance between a threatening character, a character you hate, but one who's just so entertaining when he's doing it. Like, I just hate...
He's a Game of Thrones character.
I guess, in a sense, but it's... I don't know. I don't think I can compare it to any other character. Like, I can't think of another character that makes me feel the way that he does.
I think Tywin Lannister is pretty Fletcher coded. Without the I think he does the adjective thing, but without like the screaming.
I guess I could see the same thing in what does Tywin say? He says you are an ill-made, spiteful little creature, full of lust, full of like envy, lust, and low cunning, or whatever. Like, you just like, I remember. I guess we're going on another tangent here. I remember watching that because that scene is pulled pretty much straight from the books, and it's and I saw someone mention how Charles Dance just does such a good job in just punctuating every single word he's saying and making every single word just the most hurtful thing you could possibly imagine.
Like knives and daggers through your heart.
God, he's like, why? You ask that? You who killed your mother to come into this world? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I guess I can see that. I can see the similarities.
Yeah, man, the Fletcher would do great in fucking Westeros.
Thank God he doesn't have any kids. Holy crap! As far as we know,
dude.
It's so funny
when
with
see Fletcher wooing a woman.
He's already married to his jazz. The scene where he's like backstage with I guess someone who he used to teach, and like his daughter is like, "Are you gonna go play in my band one day?" It's like, "Oh, give me a high five." And then he comes back and just like, "Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you."
Listen, it's a tale of two cities with that guy, man.
As soon as he's done with those two, he comes in and he's like, "All right, listen up, cocksuckers." He's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
I was not expecting the F slur in this movie, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh my god, and he just says it with such venom.
Mind you, that's the middle word. He has like 2 or 3 words after that word. Like
all this little adjective. He's playing the adjective dance. Holy shit.
That man is crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty mean.
This is a movie where I wasn't expecting the car crash. Like,
yeah. It was
like, you know how it's always telegraphed. You know, you can always see it coming.
Yeah.
I did not see it in this movie, which is so crazy because it makes perfect sense in this movie. But like, I was just like, oh no, like he's just gonna be late, and then Fletcher's gonna fucking have his ass. But like, nope. They're like, you know what? Really send Andrew back a couple pegs? Let's get him into an accident. It'll be fantastic.
It's so funny because we were watching it, and Chris asked me like, "Are those scars from like where he slapped him?" And I'm like, "Oh no, that's Miles Teller just has scars from a car crash he was in as a kid or a teenager or something." And I said that knowing that he was gonna get into a car crash in a few minutes. It was so funny. Yeah, he gets into an accident. With a truck too. It's not like another car. It's a fucking semi truck that flips him over.
I'm like, the fact that he survives.
And then he crawls out and goes in and grabs his stakes and then keeps running to the venue.
I'm like, when that adrenaline run like wears out, he is fucked. I don't. Yeah. It was wearing off as he was fucking playing. Like, yeah, yeah, dude. That's the point where it's like, is this worth it? Not at all. That's the movie's giving you your answer. You don't need to think about it. Like.
It's wild, man. And the editing throughout the editing through the movie is good, but that the really quick editing of all the stuff that just goes wrong as he's trying to get to that place. Is, ugh. Mm-hmm.
You poor man. I think the titular Whiplash is that scene, like the whole ending bit. Mm-hmm. I love the way that's edited, especially between like Fletcher and Andrew. And their back and forth is really nice. I also big fan of like the colors too. Like the first song that fucking Fletcher gets his payback on, right? It's blues to kind of show he's winning here. Mm-hmm. But like throughout the movie, we kind of have like kind of this yellowish motif with Andrew and kind of just like the band room and stuff. And like basically when Whiplash comes into play, like it's back to these yellows and these vibrant oranges and stuff like that, and I just thought that was really cool and really unique.
Yeah, it's really really pretty.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this movie won the Oscar for editing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what did it won for screenplay too, right?
Let me see. I have as always I have the page here. I think it won. J.K. Simmons won for best supporting actor. And then it won for best editing and best sound mixing.
Oh, okay.
So, pretty good. Yeah, those seem pretty fitting.
Yeah. Fucking, They Better Be Lucky. I love Whiplash, the song.
Yeah.
This movie would be really hard if I didn't like the music. You know, I always. That's kind of how I feel about like La La Land, made by the same director.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of the music, except for Mia and Sebastian's theme. That fucking jazz thing goes fucking hard. I have that on my playlist. But but that's not even like, that's just a theme. It's not like the music that they're actually singing. That I just don't really care for it. But I'm not a huge fan of La La Land in general. So I want to watch it for the pod, because then maybe I'll change my opinion.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so that'll be fun. It's really funny you mention that, because I watched a sort of, first view impressions kind of thing, where one person said that they did not like any of the music in the movie. It's just not like their kind of style that they like, but they loved the movie. So I'm happy that that's something that at least some people can like, is that even if you don't like the movie at all, you can still immerse yourself in the character building and the tension and all that.
Yeah, that's fair, and I didn't feel that for La La Land. So, because I think that's a fair point here. Like, I'm like, I can see someone like not, because I'm not like a huge jazz person, but like I said, I really did like the choices they had here. But like, I think I still would like the movie even if I like just drowned out the fucking like actual jazz. I think I would have enjoyed like just these two characters on screen, and I didn't feel that way for La La Land. But yeah, I can see that.
Yep. There are other little things I can think of that now
I really like his dad.
To me. Yeah, Dad's cool, great. I love him being there at the end and just the emotion on his face, seeing his son, get the peak of his ability, but also there's no pride or joy in his eyes when he's watching. It's honestly more like horror, like watching his son get to this point,
Yep. Talking to my roommate, he said that was the moment where he's like, oh, this movie has like come full circle for him. Is he thinks that basically like when Miles walks back into the room, the opera room, or what do you call it, the auditorium, and the dad looks at him through the window, that's the moment where you're like, oh, this is what the audience is seeing, is just like these two people just kind of once again being toxic to one another, but this is developing something that they both want to do, and it's this horror on the father's face that's like, oh, I might be losing my son in a way, like. And I don't know, I just thought that was very interesting, because I was like, I thought like the same thing when I see him walk back through the door. I'm like, dude,
it was like his last chance to get out of this kind of life. You know,
exactly,
he had the option to just go home with his dad and they could watch a movie together, or he could go back on that stage, and whichever choice he made was going to be the point of no return, where one of those, he was going to abandon one of those lives and commit himself to the other, and he chose to go with the music.
It's like when a child chooses a bad partner to be with, and you're like, as a parent, you're like, I don't like that. You know, I feel like we've seen that countless times in media and stuff, and just outside of media. But yeah, I thought that was a really nice thing. But overall, I enjoyed the dad. I think he's really loving, really cool, and yeah, even if he was kind of on the family side at the dinner.
I mean, I like that they give him the line of, like, you know, him being the one to talk about how success shouldn't have to look like, you know, dying of drugs and alcohol by the age of 24 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's clearly what
doesn't he say, like,
here at the end, like, that's his biggest fear now.
Yeah, at the end of that conversation too, he's like, "Was it worth it? Like, was that worth it?" Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he say something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. So I mean, those are the big points for it. I have like a little miscellaneous stuff I guess I could talk about, but I mean, do you have anything else big?
I don't think so. Not really. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll just go to a couple, you know, little details I love. I love when he first goes in to join the band, and I love the way they set up the scene where it starts with him coming in and then doing the practice and him just like tearing the shit out of the fat guy and kicking him out. And then they break. It's like, all right, after break, Neiman's gonna be on, and he goes up to him and they have like a little talk where he asks about his family and stuff. And it's, you know, it's so interesting that they go with that. You'd think that they would do a scene where he, you know, bonds with him. It's like, hey, just go out there and have fun. You'd think they would do that before they give any hint of him being an asshole. But they do it between him being an asshole and him, like, you know, being an asshole to Andrew. But I love how even when he goes in there for the first time and he, you know, he's keeping things light, every other member of the band is just stone-faced. Like, it's if you go back, it's super clear that they all know what this guy is like, so they are all just stone-faced and ready to work. And it's really it's really interesting.
I thought what you were going to say there was the fact that he immediately takes what Andrew said to him and throws it back at him, like in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
He basically, it's horrifying because he does that bit where he's, you know, quote, bonding with him. But not only is it just a front because he is about to just tear this guy a new one, but yeah, he also basically just is fishing for information that he can use against him. It's horrible. This guy's the worst.
This is so funny because this happened on like in real life with 8 Mile, right? The movie with Eminem and he rap battles. So Anthony Mackie talks about, he gives a story where basically Eminem came up to him and was like, dude, it kind of sucks that we have to like do this like rap battle thing, right? And like I don't know anything about you, like so it's like, what do we do? And so he's like, so like tell me about your life or whatever, like, you know. And then so Anthony Mack is like, oh yeah, like, you know, I had like, you know, I grew up in pretty good like family, blah blah blah. And then in the movie we have the scene where he's like rapping towards Clarence. He's like, Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. And he was like, in that moment I was like, this motherfucker gets it against me. And I just think that's what I think about with like Fletcher. It's like, I'm gonna take this and use it. It's for the betterment of this person, right?
Yeah, it's all for the good of it.
Yeah. What else you got?
Back to the scene of him and of them at the jazz club, and just the bit where Andrew's like, "Well, don't you think you might be discouraging the next Charlie Parker?" And the way J.K. Simmons like looks at that, and he's just like, "No, man," like. The vernacular he uses there, like he's being casual, and he's like, "Nah, man." The next Charlie Parker wouldn't be discouraged. It's so fucked up because we know he's plotting his revenge at this very moment. Like, he goes through this whole bit where they're having a drink together, knowing that he is pulling him into the web of taking his final revenge. It's so messed up.
The fact that he knows Andrew enough to be like, Andrew's gonna say yes. He's going to come. He's going to perform, and I'm gonna fuck him. Like, that's crazy, dude.
God,
he's an insane guy.
You think I'm stupid? I know it was you. Like, that is so terrifying. And it's so crazy. He went in there knowing he was going to launch his revenge. It makes you think of what he thought was going to happen. I guess I would imagine he thought that Andrew wasn't going to come back on stage. But then, like, what's going to happen does he have a drummer, like, backup ready? You know? Is he, like, what's going to happen next if Andrew didn't come back on stage? But obviously that's not really important, I guess.
Yeah. And
then when he does, he starts playing. And Fletcher just comes over and is like, "I will gouge out your motherfucking eyes." And then Andrew just hits the cymbal into his face.
Just bing! And he just backs up like, motherfucker.
And I love when Andrew's like towards the beginning when he started playing, he just mouths like "fuck you" to him. It's so good.
I love Andrew like taking control of the band too. Like, I'm
like,
gonna play you in. Yeah.
That's great. That band, they were bros. That was pretty great. It all started with the bassist too. That bassist coming in, boom, 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 and then everyone went in after that. It was great. It's very feel good, even though it's kind of a tragic ending if you think about it, or not.
I think it's pretty tragic.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There is the theory, I think we talked about after we watched, like maybe during the credits, where some people theorize that when it zoomed in on them both and they have that look and they nod at each other, that Fletcher is telling him "good job." Which,
yeah, that's what I said.
yeah, you'd mentioned that. And I would be surprised if that were the case. I think he is so entrenched in his belief that you can never be good enough, and that will allow you to be great, that I don't think he would ever compromise on that to tell him good job.
I think Fletcher is such a like egotist that I think he feels like it's a good job. He just would never tell you. That's why they don't say it. It's just all in the eyes. And you can interpret it as, I think Andrew interprets it as, that is a good job. They both nod that it's a good job. Now, whether he actually says it, no, I don't think he will ever do that. I think that's like where I stand on it. It's like, yeah, no, I think he's just egotistical. I think that's all it boils down to, really. In that regard of like, he's just not going to tell you. He'll never say that, because if he does, then it goes back on the very thing he says. Even if he feels like it's a good job, you know? Like, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I love that movie though. That was a really great. I love Whiplash, dude. I don't think I'm gonna cut it back on. I think I'm good, but
it's something you have to be in the mood for, definitely.
Yeah. It's kind of like The Bear in a lot of ways. Like, yeah. I think The Bear has a lot more calming, heartfelt moments than Whiplash. And I really do root for Bear. And like, I root for Andrew too. I just think I think Bear has a lot more going for him in terms what to root for, you know.
Yeah.
But there's times where I'm like, oh my god, please, everything's going to fucking shit. So, you know, and I felt a lot of that in Whiplash.
Yeah, I agree. It's a movie where I do feel uncomfortable, but after watching it for the first time, first of all, it's a lot easier, obviously. But also, I'm just so enamored by how well executed everything is that I can look past that it makes me feel uncomfortable. Because I'm like, oh man, that's such a cool shot. Like, oh, that's a great performance. I love it. I love it. And of course, to reiterate the funny story I had the year this movie came out, I was in a film studies class, and our teacher, someone suggested that we watch it for the class, and our teacher went to look at it on his own, and he came back, he's like, yeah, we can't watch that in this class. So yeah, I guess I understand, fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like my teacher, to be fair, I was in college, because I was in high school, right?
Yeah, I was in high school, so.
Yeah. So okay,
obviously you can definitely do that in a college class,
Yeah.
but in a high school class you'd have, especially because this particular teacher was he was an English teacher, and he just did the film study thing as like his side class that he did, and eventually they canceled the film studies class between our junior and senior year, and I'm pretty sure it put him into a really deep depression, because it was really clear that he had a passion for the film studies thing, and he was just kind of like doing the English thing. I don't want to really, I don't want to assume anything, but
project.
Yeah, I don't want to project, I guess. But he kind of went off the deep end after that, because I had him for junior year for film studies, and then in senior year I had him for my normal English class, and he got fired like 3/4 of the way through the year, because apparently in another English class, he had like a different period, he took someone's phone and threw it out the window. And apparently behind the scenes, like he had his wife had left him, and he was going through like and his parents had died, and he was going through like a deep depression.
Oh my god! And this is also not the guy that had the kidney stones, right?
No,
it's not the same guy. Okay, good. I would feel so bad for him if that also happened.
But yeah, so he eventually had to leave. We just had random subs come in for the rest of the year, and we had our big final exam, and they didn't know what to do for it, so they just had us do a final exam based on the books we had for our final unit. And they just let it be an open book exam because they were just like, we can't deal with all this. Just get your A's and be done with it. It's like, all right, I'll take it.
Damn, that's crazy. Man. Yeah, I hope he's doing well now. I hope he's making movies.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great. So, that's about all I got. Friendo.
Yeah, that's all I got too. I got much more.
All right.
It was fantastic. Say that again.
Oh my god, dude.
That's our next movie.
Yeah, we're doing Fantastic next.
No, dude, I went back, I think right before First Steps came out. We went through and watched all the Fantastic Four movies. And I have a soft spot for those first two Fantastic Four movies. I think they're just kind of wholesome. But then we watched Fantastic, and I was like, "Holy fuck! This does not feel like it's just like things happening, but nothing happening at all. It's the most boring movie I've seen in a long time. God, I refuse. I can't watch. I don't even want to watch it for the pod. Like, and I'm willing to watch anything for the pod. I'm like, Riley, there's fucking a new Power Ranger movie coming out. You want to watch it for the pod? But that movie, I'm like, dude, there was nothing we could talk about. We would just be, we get more fulfillment out of watching paint dry. Like, yeah. Anyway, that's my little rant.
I'll maintain for the original Fantastic Four movies, I will maintain to this day that Michael Chiklis as the Thing is the best casting for a Marvel movie to this day. Yes. He is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's so
voice. Good. Oh, it's so good.
I do not think they have topped that in terms of casting. It's so good. He's so great. I love the Thing. The Thing's one of my favorite superheroes. Anyway, that's all outside of the case of this. What do we got coming up for the pod?
I don't know. There's so much stuff I want to watch. You really, yeah. So I don't know. I want to get back into Marvel shit, but we'll see.
Gotta do Avengers
because I really do want to get more people on for Avengers. At least one person.
Yep.
And that would be really cool. Like, we could have like an actual first guest. You know,
all right. So we gotta do that. We gotta plan that out. At some point we'll do Lord of the Rings. I have a list of movies I want to do with you. But at this point, I mean,
I have a list of movies. They're all random movies, though. Like,
so I'm tossing it back to you. This is my pick. So you, if we're not gonna do Avengers next, you gotta make a pick, and we'll.
Yeah, no. I have some other stuff like in the pipeline.
5x5. Fair enough. Socials.
Rose dot color boy with 2 Y's on Instagram. Modern day age everywhere else. On Blue Sky. Riley, you got Blue Sky yet?
Nope.
All right.
I realized that even if I wanted to get a Blue Sky, I really would not have any purpose for it because I would not. I don't know. Anyway, continue.
What do you mean? You could just follow a bunch of people and then like upload your YouTube shit on there. People are really nice on Blue Sky. That's one thing I can say.
Fair
really
enough.
Nice community, really cool people. Shout out to Light Twitter is what I call it. What else? That's it. Oh, any question? You got a
question? Oh man, that is something that I did not expect to hear from you. Let's see. Anything to do with the year? It's August. That is nothing. You excited for summer to be over? You were.
Am I excited for summer to be over?
Yeah.
Summer's not over here until like October.
All right.
October is like one of the hottest months. So
fair enough.
I am excited for when it inevitably ends.
Yeah.
Winter is coming, the Starks say. The Northmen say. So yeah, I will eventually be excited. I think right now I'm going through a lot of like existential dread. So it's really hard for me to like look forward to like, I don't know, stuff like that. It feels so small, and I'm like, I need something bigger to be like, oh, okay, I can live and survive, and I don't have to fight people for food tomorrow. You know, that's kind of what I've been dealing with lately. What about you? You excited for something?
Yeah.
You also work outside a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I personally love my job, but it is one of those things where the summer months they can be absolutely miserable, and then once you get into fall, spring, and winter, it is just an absolute joy of being for me personally. It is it's amazing to just be outside in the nice cool weather, especially in the temperate region we find myself in. I love it personally, so I'm very excited for especially fall to come on here.
Yeah, I need to go back over to Virginia while it's raining because I miss the rain. Yeah, definitely need more of that.
Yeah.
Their socials.
I have Whisolation on YouTube, and I believe Whisolation on Twitch. I should probably double check that just to make sure. I'm pretty sure it's Whisolation on Twitch. Yes, it is. I do plan. Well, I say I plan. Get out of that. I do want to do some streaming at some point. But that will have to wait a little bit until I'm a little less busy. But at some point, I think I might set up a second YouTube channel for putting stream VODs up. If I plan to do that more, so I don't know. I might just call that like
streams.
I was gonna say Whisolation VODs, but I'll figure out what that is, and when that is up, I will plug that on the pod. I'll also put it in my YouTube description somewhere, channel description, whatever. And hopefully that'll be fun. I don't know what I'm going to play. Probably just like card game stuff. Maybe some Blood Bowl is what I've been into recently. And that's about it. I don't really have any other Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok. I don't have any of that, so it's just YouTube.
Not yet.
And Twitch.
Yeah, I'm going to force Riley to at least make a Blue Sky.
All
And
right.
maybe a TikTok if he starts like doing his VOD shit. Also, The Process, the movie I was working on called The Process, short film, is completely done. We're all set to go. We'll probably start putting that into like film festivals next year. So
Excellent.
might be eventually uploaded on YouTube modern day age. So look forward to that. I am starting the pre-production on another short film called Charon's Used Cars. It is based on the Greek ferryman Charon. And it's like a little horror comedy short thing that I'm working on. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Sounds fun.
That's kind of it.
All right. I don't have any like YouTube stuff coming out. I was gonna say maybe I should talk about YouTube stuff I have coming out, but I don't think I actually have anything planned. I did cancel my StarCraft Revisit series, so that's not coming out. Sorry. Beyond that, I still have Persona 4 that I'm doing on very occasion, and I'm still doing Final Fantasy 5 with Max and Alex. You can check that out. And then HOTS on occasion. And also, Max and I, we just did another episode of our Kingdom Hearts podcast. So if you're interested in Kingdom Hearts, you can check out Dive to the Heart, a Kingdom Hearts podcast, where we did an episode reacting to and talking about the Nintendo Direct KH4 trailer. So that was pretty fun. And that's about it. When are the Game Awards, by the way?
You say when is the Game Awards?
Yeah, when they're December. December is the Game Awards. So end of the year. Make sure you come subscribe to Whiplash because we always upload our watching of the Game Awards, and I usually get drunk, and it's very fun.
When are we gonna fucking rank fucking shows? That's what
that will also be coming. We can do that as early as today if everyone's around. But
oh yeah, true. Well, Max said, "Oh, well, I'll talk to that. I'll talk. Off pod. I'll talk to you about Max." But
a lot of stuff. I don't upload very often these days because I am busy with work and also just have other stuff going on. But I do plan on uploading more stuff. I had a thought about doing some kind of YouTube series heavily edited with Blood Bowl, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. We'll see. So youtube.com/Wisolation. It's a great place to be.
It's amazing.
That's it.
Go catch up. There's like
also check us out on the pod. We have there's 418 videos actually.
Holy shit!
Where's the pod on YouTube? It's Chrissy Jackson with 2 S's is where the pod is on
slash.
YouTube. Is it up and after 4624? Yeah, mm-hmm. Up and after 4624 is that. You can check us out there if you want to check out the other episodes of the pod. And I believe this is episode 17, which is a lucky number, I'm gonna say.
Yes, dude. On episode 20, it's coming up, it's approaching. I would love to get video versions of our podcast kind of uploaded, and I'll do that. I can make us a little backgrounds too for our, like, where the movie will be, where our faces will be, and everything around it, so look forward to that. We'll see. I gotta get a lot of shit in order to do that, though. So
I could absolutely help edit that if we want to.
Also, I'll be switching to Linux later this month at some point. So
sounds fun.
Yeah, we'll see how I kill myself doing all that. So
all right, well, that was a lot of plugging we did, but it's all worth it.
It's all needed. Gotta keep people informed.
Very fun. All right, that's it.
All right.
That's it. Bye bye.